Types of data journalism. In this session, we talk about types of data journalism. We will look to define the different types of data journalism and understand how data is used to strengthen the story and make it more credible. Investigative journalism is a form of journalism in which reporters deeply research and investigate a single topic with the goal of revealing matters of public interest. Let us look now into an investigative journalism article by Martin Siele titled, How Kenya Robs Its Artists. Martin utilized data to highlight the issue of lack of transparency and accountability in the collection and distribution of royalties to Kenyan artists. He showcased what MCSK, which is the Music Copyright Society of Kenya's, annual gross income was in millions against what MCSK was paying in royalties to artists between 2016 and 2020. Martin further used data to show what MCSK was spending their income on, which included things like legal fees, rent, rates, board expenses, which took up the biggest chunk of their income, and so on. He further showed how the spending changed over time between 2016 and 2020. The second type of data journalism is social interest storytelling. Social interest storytelling is telling social impact stories where the analysis is enriched by data. A good example of this is a piece done by Linda Ngare titled Play Therapy: How Underestimating Play is Connected to Child Crime. Linda used data to discuss the importance of play in child development and how underestimating play can be connected to child crime. She highlighted a survey where the Rural Urban Social Empowerment Program, RUSEP, asked 15 parents and children the question, what do you think will dissuade youths from committing crime, and showed the different outcomes from the survey. The third type of data journalism is a data explainer. Journalists can write stories that are designed to help explain data so it's easier for others to understand. An example of this article, Food Trends in Kenya, 2007 to 2017 by Juliet Atela. Juliet sought to explain the impact of rising food prices on Kenya's development and how droughts, corruption, inefficiency, and a demographic bulge have put pressure on the country's food systems. The fourth type of data journalism is fact-checking. Fact-checking journalism allows a journalist to interrogate facts that have been shared. They use additional data to determine the validity of the information. An example is hypertension at crisis levels in Kenya? The story was done and produced by PesaCheck. The writer sought to discuss the prevalence of hypertension in Kenya and its impact on public health. The writer used data to answer the question, has the incidence of hypertension reached a critical level in Kenya? The fifth and final type of data journalism is explaining research and surveys. Surveys and research reports often contain information that is very valuable for the public in a dense and not very user-friendly format. The goal of this type of journalism is to explain the significance of these insights and bring them closer to the audience. An example of this is the piece Media Gender Reveal, Who Reports Which News Stories by Edith Athiambo Magak. Edith sought to discuss the findings of the Global Media Monitoring Project, GMMP, which is the world's longest-running and largest study of gender portrayal in the news media. The study revealed that female journalists in Kenya are more likely to report on subjects that are traditionally viewed as of particular interest to women, such as education, gender equality, and welfare. On the other hand, female journalists are less likely to cover the so-called male topics, like politics, crime, sports, or violence. In the next session, we will look at tools, methods, and sources of data storytelling. So stay tuned.